Hey, it finally came in. All right, and welcome to episode 138 of the Zenspath Entertainment Network podcast. I'm your host, Jeremy Powers, and joining me once again this week, we have Chris.
Hello.
Rachel.
Hi there.
Chase.
Good day.
And Steven.
Top of the evening.
Is it really evening for Chase? For him, it looks like midday.
It's very bright over there, Chase.
It's only like, it's almost just 3 to 1 over here.
Wow. I wish it was still 3 to 1 here.
He just does a podcast after lunch where he's at, all the way over, all the way over there, and Sunday. It's only Saturday for the rest of us.
Yeah.
Oh, it has been a busy week for everybody, so we'll kind of jump into what we've been doing here to start off. And Chase, speaking of which, since you're already tomorrow, let's find out what you've been doing. So what have you been up to?
Future's terrible, guys. Don't come here. No, it's been all right. It's been a bit of a slow week. Obviously, we were playing the Master Chief Collection campaigns. Had to skip to 4 because 3 was borderline unplayable.
Oh
Underwater.
God. I don't know what was happening. Like, it was lagging so bad for everybody. The game runs great normally.
Yeah,
It was running on a GBA.
A GBA would have kept a more consistent frame rate and response time.
and just a moment ago before the podcast, I finished watching they released a new trailer for Space Marine 2 for the multiplayer.
Ooh.
For like the PvE mode stuff, and man, does that game look amazing. I'm so stoked for September 9th right now.
Nice. I still got to make sure I've got that pre-ordered so we can play it. All right. Steven, what about you? What have you been up to?
Let's see. I'm on my daily grind, Multiversus and Zenless Zone Zero. Still going strong. Ever since Chris went cold turkey with it as well. I played Thank Goodness You're Here for Switch. It's also for PC. It is probably the most British or Cockney game you could ever play.
You've already sold me on it.
Especially with its sense of humor and the fact that the only controls you have are moving, jumping, and smacking everything and everybody.
Okay, I'm writing this down. Writing it down now.
But if you think Monty Python is weird, then wait till you play this one.
Good Lord.
Also picked up or finally got in some of my gaming books. I have The History of Sunsoft Volume 1.
Ooh.
So it's a little tiny book. I have Legends of 16-Bit Game Development, which talks about the history of Treasure and Sega. And then the heavy one from good old Bitmaps, Run and Gun, The History of On-Foot Shooters. This thing's a beast.
Good God.
Oh.
Is that still available, actually?
Yeah. They have a regular one and they have the hardcover one.
Where
That's
do you
what
get
we
them
do.
from?
Bitmapbooks.com.
That is a coffee table book if I've ever seen one.
Yeah,
They've
done one for zombies. They've done one for just beat 'em ups. Yeah, it's just very comprehensive. I love them.
Good Lord. All right. Chris, what about you? What have you been up to?
I also played Thank Goodness You're Here, and I finished it. It is very fun. It has a lot of stuff you might miss the first time around, so there's a lot of really fun dialogue. It really does feel like a Monty Python sketch come to life. And yeah, it's very amusing. Aside from that, I've also been playing a lot of DS and 3DS games again.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of the gimmicky stuff, but it's still used it well. Like Meteos is an old favorite. I always
love
the
Meteos.
It's a lot of fun. I especially like the way the music changes as you go through specific planets and, you know, the urgency of the puzzle at the time. I love stuff like that. I love leitmotif in any kind of game.
Have you ever played Polarium? Either the Game Boy Advance or DS versions?
I have not. That sounds familiar. What is it?
Basically, it's like it's a black and white puzzle, and you have to figure out the line to draw the pattern to kind of make the whole thing one piece. It's an interesting one, but the only one I can actually stream and show it to you later is the Game Boy Advance one, which still plays well. It's just D-pad control.
Yeah, it's very good.
It's very chill.
Yeah, it's
Which
chill.
I love. It's a good puzzle game for DS. I'd highly recommend.
Good to think of. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've also been playing WarioWare Touched, Weapon Shop de Omase. Basically, those games that really used the stylus to the best of its ability.
You need to say that last one like the title screen does.
Oh,
Weapon
God.
Shop Deomase.
Well, they change it every time. Weapon Shop de Omase is all kinds of weird stuff. And speaking of weird,
that one you should describe though, because that one was a very unique concept.
that's true. It's basically you are a blacksmith's apprentice renting out weapons to the local adventurers guild. Essentially, the evil lord has showed up and nobody has their weapons ready, so you have to rent weapons to various heroes, hopefuls, and NPCs.
I have never heard of this a day before in my life.
It actually came out around the sunset period of the DS, and it was only a download title, so a little tough to find, but very fun. And it plays in the style of an old Japanese comedy, which makes it even better. There's applause when certain characters come in. There's a laugh track. There's all kinds of. It's very goofy, but very fun.
So would this be DSi, or are you meaning 3DS?
3D. Well, I think it's 3DS. But you would
okay.
still have to download it, kind of thing. It's not. I've never seen it physical. It only seems to be available from the eShop.
Which you can't even do anything
I
with
forget
anyway.
exactly what they called it, but this is when they had these 4 developers make these very unique games. They had Liberation Maiden, which was kind of like their bullet hell type game with an anime feel.
Yeah,
there was.
I'm looking at images
Crimson
for it right
something.
now.
There was other one, Christian, that took place on a spaceship that was empty. I forget what it was called though, but that was part of the group of 4 that came out. And then my favorite was the Attack of the Friday Monsters that actually worked with your calendar. It basically was, what if you played a kind of like a walking simulator, but there was always kaiju battles going on in the background. So you were kind of what happens to the townspeople who are just like, oh, it's Friday again. So if you played the game on Friday, you got to see the kaiju fight. But if you played on like Saturday, you just saw giant footprints and destroyed buildings.
Oops.
Oh, man.
Yeah. There may be a way to get those games again, but they are a lot of fun. So, and aside from that, I've been finding more weird food. I went to Five Below, and I found these little potato sticks that Yusuke eats in Persona 5.
Okay.
I've also found something called turtle chips, which are these weird round layered chips, and apparently they are churro flavored. So I'll let you know how those do. So keeping the habit of destroying my stomach for the sake of good taste.
As long as it's not those garlic chips again.
Oh,
don't worry, I'll get you
more
more of
of
them.
those.
I'll get you more.
I'll pay you. It's fine.
Steven's like, just stop sending stuff to my house.
I'll have to get him a hotel room.
Anyway, that's all I've been doing.
Lord. All right, Rachel, what about you? What have you been up to?
Well, now I'm sad that I missed this Weapon Shop de Omase because I was looking it up, and obviously you can't get it now because the eShop is dead.
Well, see, since the eShop is dead, we can now easily talk about the fact how easily you can hack a 3DS and just get all of these games on there. We can talk about that later.
We'll talk about that later. I still want to do that, but that's definitely. But I did find one that is similar on the Switch eShop, which is apparently Holy Potatoes, a weapon shop, which is almost the same thing, but there's just a ton of potato puns. So there's something to look up. But anyway, back to what I was doing. I've been playing lots of platformers, so I'm kind of in my I don't want to play too much modern stuff or newer stuff right now. My attention span, I guess, for gaming is not super great at the moment. So I've been playing ukulele, KO Kangaroo, which both are excellent platformers that run very well on the Switch. I got a Hat in Time.
It does get better. Jennifer loves that game, and
so it's not that it's bad; it's that it takes forever to load, and I can't figure out why.
Really?
Yeah, bizarre.
It wasn't the most optimized on the Switch, sadly.
Yeah, so I don't know. I might send an email to the people and be like, "Is there something I can do? Like, what do you like? I have it installed on the Switch proper and not the not the memory card." So I was like,
download, not the cartridge.
Correct, because I had no way of getting the cartridge, so it was not available.
Interesting.
So very strange. But ukulele, Yukio Kangaroo, a game called Hell Pie, which I know I kind of talked to you about, Jeremy. This
Yes.
game is
I'm
bizarre.
very interested.
It's
Like, this is so weird.
So it's very Super Mario Odyssey in its construction, where you have like an overworld where you're in an office building in hell. And the story is that you've the devil has called you on your desk phone. You play the there's the 7 deadly sins in demonic form and whatever, but there's actually an 8th deadly sin. Can you guess what it is?
What?
It's the sin of bad taste. And so you play this little guy,
God.
the demon of bad taste, and you basically get butt dialed by your boss, and he's asking where the cook is, and you're like, why do you need the cook? He's like, well, it's my birthday and I want my hell pie. So then you go to check the kitchen to see what's going on with this pie, and it turns out the cook does not have any of the ingredients he needs. So your job is to go around to all of these different worlds and get these absolutely terrible ingredients like rotten eggs, expired pie crust, you name it, and it's gross. It's got like so much like weird potty humor, but it's been really entertaining so far. I will say I am finding that for whatever reasons, a lot of these games that I'm playing that are platformers are not running very well in handheld mode, but they run great when you have it docked.
Interesting.
I don't know why that is. I'm going to test it with a Hat in Time and see if I notice anything more, but maybe it's just the act of it running the small screen and all of the stuff at once in one tiny package, as opposed to maybe it's just optimized better when you run it.
I'm about to say, normally it should be running down like 720 or lower when it's on the portable, so it usually shrinks down for stuff like that pretty well.
I don't know. It's bizarre, but I'm gonna test it with the other platforms probably when we're done recording, or with the other platformers, and we'll see how it goes, and I'll report back, since we'll probably all still be here. But then the last thing I got when I just picked up today, because it was the last day that it was on sale, and I was deliberating it, and I looked up some reviews, was this little game called Here Comes Nico. And you are this kid that moves out, and you get this job as a professional friend, and you just go do favors for everybody and make new friends and stuff, and you get you get paid in coin for it, but your boss is this little frog. And it's adorable. All of the background art and all the like level stuff is all 3D, but the characters themselves are 2D, which is very interesting. It's got very good music.
Looks like Paper Mario in a way.
Yeah, very much inspired by Paper Mario, but so far, I mean, it's on sale right now. It's like $4. I mean, how can you pass up a game for $4, right? I think Jennifer would really, really like it, Jeremy, mainly because it's got really, really cute art. If you check in the Discord in What You Playing, I just posted a picture in there before we started recording where you can see the main character. I think she's gonna love it. It's just so cute, and the music has like a little recorder, like flute noise. It's just so cute. She'd like it, I think.
She's still been on her Mega Man kick, so we'll see. But she's discovered Mega Man 11, and has been tearing through that.
But it's very cute. It's not super like it's not hard. It's just fun, if that makes sense. And then I went, of course, the inaugural Halloween time trip to the Spirit Halloween, which I will be going to other Spirit Halloweens throughout the season, just to see what they had, because they have a whole range of Beetlejuice stuff.
It's not even September.
Listen, we're in Central Florida. Halloween starts in August down here.
Part of the mall is being
Halloween started here too, Chris. There's already Halloween candy out. Come on now.
Yeah, Rachel, part of the mall here.
Nothing's going on in August and September, so they got to move ahead.
Is being turned into one.
Oh, really? The whole mall?
Part of the mall that was left over by the front door after the hurricane. Most of our mall is destroyed from a hurricane, and they just have been lazy asses and not done anything with it.
See, if I were them, I'd just turn it into a convention center.
Yeah, they're about to tear down the only other one we used to have, so we don't even have that.
Yeah, I
Or
know.
do a Dead Rising experience.
They want to build it into more hotels, which makes no sense.
Makes no sense. Either turn it into affordable housing or a convention center.
Or a shopping center. We need one. But anyways.
Well, I will say shopping centers, unless they're outdoor, are not very popular right now. We have 6 dead malls down here. 6. And they're all within 10 miles of each other.
Even if it was an outside one, we need something here. But
yeah.
anyways.
The only mall down here that is of any success is the Florida Mall. Yeah. And it's just because it's so nice. But anyway, went into Spirit Halloween. I was checking out their Beetlejuice stuff. They actually had some really cool home decor, but they were out of the shirt I wanted, so I was just like, meh. But then I ended up going to Walmart and getting different shirts, so I don't have to get that shirt anymore. So, mission accomplished. And then lastly, of course, I wanted to say that I got my ticket for Beetlejuice already. Who's surprised? And I'm actually seeing it 2 days early for an early access showing on 9/4. So
nice.
And we'll make sure to spoil the whole thing for everybody.
I will not. I will be giving my spoiler-free review. Probably, well, maybe not. I don't know.
She'll make it about 30 seconds and then get so excited about something she's just gonna blurt the whole thing out.
No, I'm probably just gonna be like, it was so good, and I'm just crying the entire time. I will cry multiple times.
As long as it's better than Borderlands.
I think at this point anything will be better than Borderlands, but
I kind of want to see it just to, I don't want to pay for it, but I want to see it just to see how much of a dumpster fire it is.
Yeah, wait until it's not in theaters anymore, so you can see it for free.
Yeah, wait till if I had to guess, it's going to be on streaming really fast.
Yeah. I mean, if nothing else, it should be fun.
Yeah.
Just fun. Not good, but fun.
Well, when one of the actresses, the lady that is playing Tiny Tina, refuses to admit she's in it, talk about it, do any advertising for it or anything, and just act like it never happened, that's not a good sign.
No, and it's sad. Wait. That's the young girl, right?
Yes.
So first off, she looks like a budget. What's the name of the girl who's dating Tom Holland? I don't know. Zendaya. She looks like a budget Zendaya. I'm just saying, that's what she looks like to me. At least her face does. They look very similar. But maybe because they have similar facial expressions, but also I don't like the way I don't like the way any of the characters look, except
I mean, that's not their fault. That's the costume department and people deciding that. So
it's not just the costume department thing. It's
the casting director.
It's the casting. I feel could have done better.
I love the
Kate Blanchett's okay. She's just a little old for the role.
I just love the 360p TikTok ads I keep getting where looks like he's in his basement and he's like, "This is Kevin Hart telling you to go see Borderlands. Hey guys," I was like, "You are held by gunpoint for that."
His whatever agent he has and whatever company he's attached to.
Agent at this point, probably.
Well, it probably wasn't. It may not have been that. He might have. So a lot of actors have contracts with certain production companies that they are obligated to be in a certain number of movies under that company, and that might be where he's at. I don't know. I have no idea. Yeah. But that's all I can say.
Right.
Wait.
Well,
maybe I shouldn't say any more about this.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. So moving on from that, what I've been up to, we had another Pensacola run today, Brent and I, which was absolutely hilarious. And we went out to Video Game Trading Post, saying hi to those guys out in Pensacola, as well as Hyperspace Toys. So that's where, over at the Video Game Trading Post, I got another of my Pikmin, which apparently, and I haven't had a chance to test this because I got home and literally set up when we did the show. This glows in the dark because it's the Ghost Pikmin from Pikmin 4.
I know it's a Pikmin, but it also reminds me of the stuffed toy from Lilo and Stitch.
Maybe. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. But, so I've got that. I think all I'm missing now is the white Pikmin. I'm still trying to find that poison Pikmin, and I'll have the whole set of the plush ones.
Cute.
But beyond that, this will be a topic kind of for later. Not my answer, but just another funny. I finally got the classic NES Legend of Zelda. So I have Zelda 1 and 2, so I can play this once again on a Game Boy Advance. And then for DS, since you brought that up earlier, Chris, the Mario Hoops 3-on-3.
Neat.
Yeah, it's supposed to be really fun.
Featuring the Red Mage from Final Fantasy and more.
Yeah, it's 2 to 4 players, and
Interesting.
that's not gonna matter anymore because I don't know.
Yeah, they did a crossover with Final Fantasy, so you can watch your favorite classes from the first Final Fantasy hoop it up.
I finally got NASCAR Rumble, which is a weird title, but it's like a Mario Kart. It's supposed to be really fun for the PlayStation, so I wanted to at least give it a shot when I'd heard about it. I'm not a NASCAR race car guy, but I do like arcade racing games, so who knows? And then I finally picked up Shooting Range and Barker Bill's Trick Shooting for the NES, since I'm hooking one of those up to a CRT so I can actually play light gun games again. And then lastly, for what I'll show, Jennifer's going to lose her mind when she finds out about this because she has been wanting to mess with my record player and listen to stuff. So I found the Shantae soundtrack on vinyl.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
Very fun.
She doesn't know about this yet, so that's going to be fun explaining that to her. Well, it's going to be fun trying to get her not to mess with my record player now.
Or you could just, get her own record player. Like, there's plenty of cheap ones.
Yeah, but then she'd have to mess with my records, which that's not happening.
Or you just start her own collection.
I would, but I had to hunt this one down. So.
Okay.
I do like that the
I'll get her digital
GBA
music.
NES games are colored NES gray.
Yeah, because I have a normal cartridge here on the right, and then they did the NES
That was
gray.
always a nice touch when I collected those.
Now, the fun thing is, did you ever get any of the Japanese versions? I only ever got one, which was Donkey Kong, and I have the case and everything for it. But it's actually, half of it is the clear red, and the other side is like a cream white to look like the Famicom cartridge it came from.
Nice.
So they went above and beyond on the Japanese ones, too. But I never managed to find any of the others, so I don't know if those look different. Beyond that, it's just been a lot of work, and we finally watched a movie called The Fall Guy. We bought that and watched it, and it's absolutely hilarious. Like, I highly recommend it. It felt like it dragged on a little bit, but to be fair, we also watched the extended cut, which adds like a half an hour of footage, which is funny, but you can kind of tell where they probably cut some of it. But the whole movie, other than the comedic and romantic side of it, is just a shit ton of stunt people just doing stunt people stuff and having a blast with it. And at the end, during the credits, you get that classic, what we always refer to as like the Jackie Chan credits, where they show all the stuntmen without anything being changed, like doing the stunts and things messing up and them messing around with it and having fun. And it's hilarious. It was well worth watching. So the last little bit here also, I got a new Slimer. His little arms are stretched back because he looks like he's running at you, and of course he got a butt.
Aww.
Slimer got a butt.
You
Every
look at
Slimer
the
seems to have a little butt now.
He's just a little guy.
He's just a little guy. So yeah, this was random when I found it. Anybody remember this guy? Old Jack Torrance.
Yes.
So that'll go with the rest of my little weird figures from this set. I couldn't turn him down. This is
I
funny.
have some figures from that kind of company thing, but mine are all I got Wolfman Frank,
Yep.
Beetlejuice the Mummy. I got Adam.
I don't think I got Beetlejuice. I think I'm missing him.
I got Beetlejuice, and then I had 2 Elviras, and I gave one to my friend, because they love Elvira. But I got another one, and then I actually repainted it myself to make it look like the bride. So,
oh well, worth a shot. I've been collecting those as I get it. They had the lead character from American Psycho, but his arm broke. And I was like, well, I guess I'm not getting him. So,
well, I was hoping they would do more of that particular horror series because I would still love to have, I'm missing Dracula. That's the main person I'm missing.
I don't think I
So,
have Dracula. I have Nosferatu. I do have
yeah.
him, which is
I had a
hilarious.
Nosferatu. I don't know where he went though.
Well,
But
I found
no,
I have
the
because they
the
made.
size is the face is different on the other Dracula they had.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they all
Yeah.
tend to be this design with the way the eyes are and stuff. But they did like these are the horror ones. They did the classic
Mhm.
horror ones. They did
Yep.
video game and sci-fi ones.
Yep.
But one of my favorites is I have Doc Brown, and
Oh,
it's him
nice.
standing there with the remote control from the first Back to the Future, where he's testing out the car and showing Marty. And I found my little micro machine sized DeLorean
Mm-hmm.
and ended up putting it in front of him. So it looks like he's just sitting there playing with an RC DeLorean.
That's so cute.
And it's funny how the scale for that works. On the opposite side, I got a pop figure of the Ed 209 from RoboCop, and my little RoboCop from that set is perfectly scaled to it and looks like he goes with it. So that was kind of funny. But anyways, we'll go into that. Also, the last thing is I want to say hello to possible new people that are listening from Threads, because apparently I started some craft this week and got like 1,000 post thing going on and like almost 100 followers and a bunch of other stuff. Like a bunch of conversations are still going on. So hey, if you're actually trying out the show based on that fact, I'm not a random bot. I'm actually a real person. And thankfully I've only had to block one person who's being kind of a dick, but everybody else has been really cool and fun conversations. But yeah, the whole thing I started is I asked like, hey, are there any other gamers over 40 here? And there's like over 1,000 people responding and talking about it and so forth. And I was like,
Yo.
okay, it led to a bunch of stuff. So if you're watching this from that, hi, this is me. I exist. I'm not just a username. So and you can find us over there at Zenspath.com because it's the same as my Instagram. Since Threads is tied to that. But that was fun. All right, let's jump into our news because we've got some weird stories this week and a couple good ones. So
Yep.
and we got one I had to mention that I know, Rachel, you will have to aside yourself from it, and that's fine. But I just wanted to at least hit on it really quick a little bit later on. So, all right, move on.
Mm-hmm.
So first up, I just thought this was hilarious. We're all familiar with Elon Musk, and we're all familiar with the fact that he's kind of totally crazy. So him and his president of X, as we'll call it, whatever, have filed an antitrust lawsuit against a group of companies simply on the grounds that they won't advertise on X. So mind you, the person that says you should have complete freedom and publicly told these advertisers because they were not happy with how he has allowed Nazism, the most uses of racial slurs I've seen in most of my life, and I live in the South, which is terrible. All kinds of other really bad things like, hey, advertisers aren't going to like this, but their argument is, well, no, you can't decide not to come here, even if it's in your little group. You have to advertise with us and pay us, or it's an antitrust suit. There was a video released by their ex-CEO, Linda Yaccarino. I apologize if I said that incorrectly, talking about the suit, but they weren't naming specific companies. But Disney is one of them. I know that much has come out. Good luck with that lawyer fight.
Yeah, that's
and
not
I guarantee
a fight you can win.
Yeah, I guarantee the first bit of this court case, if it even gets to court, is going to be the defense playing the video of Musk saying, if you don't want to advertise here, go yourself. Like, just blatantly says it multiple times, like, don't advertise here, we don't care, leave us alone. But now they're flailing and trying to get people to do it. And I was just so weird, such a weird situation. I wanted to at least mention it if anybody had thoughts on this. Like, what do you think legally how this stands? Like the fact that they're saying,
I like how you probably have to say the CEO of X because it sounds bad to say ex-CEO.
yeah, I just
Maybe they'll be saying that later.
Her speech is funnier though because she frames it as it's a huge conspiracy to take down America. So it's like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, they're saying like you have to do this because it's the world's, like, not marketplace, but town hall, I think, or something like that.
Yeah. She made it sound like it was a city, and I was just like,
Well, like if you don't advertise on X, you are against the world's freedom of speech.
I was like, it's the same city that Mad Max lives in. Then
Yeah, it's about as organized as everything in Waterworld. So, and then on top of that, they basically were making other changes, once again, trying to make likes and comments and reposts on all replies invisible, just to make it more confusing and it's become very restrictive on a lot of that stuff. And it was part of the catalyst of why I said, screw it, went over to Threads and started the stuff there. And now I'm mostly on that. I'm still trying to get stuff on Blue Sky going, but it never seems to click. Like I can never seem to get traction on anything. But hey, at least something, because I'd like to eventually shut down Twitter. I just don't want to use it anymore. I'm tired of it. I only really use it now just to like, hey, the show's out, and maybe a few other little things. So, all right, let's move on from that hellhole, because I think nobody else really has anything to say about it. All right. So we have The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom coming out here shortly. And we finally got a more detailed trailer that shows more of the world, explains the gameplay more directly, and dives into a lot of little things. And my biggest takeaway is, holy crap, they borrowed a lot of the Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom functions, menus, and lists. And I'm okay with that.
Listen,
It looks great.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
And that's what we've been doing it for years in animation with like TV and all of that, and gaming used it for years, and then they stopped doing it, which I thought was a mistake. So now they're just going back and doing the smart thing that helps their development team.
Yep. So some of the stuff we ended up seeing, the mission list system, which was basically ripped right out of Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, like down to the font, looks the same, which is great. So hey, if you played those, you're already familiar with it. There will be changeable outfits for Zelda, just like there was for Link, but we have no idea yet if they have different effects like you could for the Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom suits. But if nothing else, kind of neat, the ones you can see, including a Gerudo one. You're still going to be finding ingredients and making food, which are now smoothies instead of whatever Link could cook up, including what I still love is that blurred out horror of nature that whatever you mess up, the unknown food.
People have made it in real life.
Oh, God.
Perfect.
Did they just blur it out too?
And since Chris is into weird foods, we should work on one.
Oh, man.
If I send it, it'll just rot and be even more ready for that. The other thing is they did show that elements react to each other correctly. So fire will burn on things and trace and make wind, and a lot of those physics mechanics will carry over to this world as well. Did any of you else watch any of this or have any thoughts on it?
I'm on info blackout because I wanted to go in blind.
Oh, sorry, Steven.
I watched like a few seconds of it and I was like, okay, and that's all I needed. So
I watched it because I wanted to see how some of these mechanics work, because it does explain more of how, because it doesn't spoil any of the game. It's just showing like, here's how the mechanics can work and some of the stuff that can happen, but there's still a lot of stuff that's not in there. Because it does have mechanics beyond, because originally it looks like it's a Link to the Past or a Link's Awakening style game, but I think it's that only graphically, and then the actual mechanics are taken from stuff like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, because you have other powers that they show right away that drastically change how movement and puzzle solving goes. They did show there is a limit to how many things you can make and how that is explained, which is kind of cool. So you can watch the trailer, and some people do breakdowns and stuff on that. I'm kind of iffy to say anything now because I'm like, I didn't want to completely mess anything up for Steven. So I feel bad saying anything. I wanted to talk about it, but I'm like, it's only what's in the trailer. But it wasn't even really a trailer. It's more of an explainer. But you can look it up online, and it shows a lot of that. So, all right. Go to our next one. So Fortnite is finally making changes to how for the skins you can unlock in Battle Pass. And I will preface this now. Sadly, this is for moving forward, not previous skins. So you're kind of SOL on getting these back. But they said, quote, items in future Fortnite battle passes might be offered for purchase, and the battle pass item may include a different, or I'm sorry, I read that wrong. Items in future Fortnite battle passes might be offered for purchase in the Fortnite shop after 18 or more months from the battle pass's expiration. So that's over a year. A battle pass item may include a different number of its alt styles each time it comes to the shop. This change lets us continue. Oh, whoever did that just messed me up. This change lets us continue investing in new and exciting battle pass rewards while enabling players down the road to also enjoy the content, including outfits based on popular licensed characters. So pretty much now, if you miss out on doing the battle pass or you don't have time to play through and get the high end ones, they might come back after that 18 months. And if they do, they may have different alternate skins and so forth, but the option might be there to get them. So it's kind of an interesting change on that, instead of being like the FOMO of like, you have to get it now or they go away. So
I still can't get my Chespirito skin. Oh, well.
I missed out on the Transformers ones. I got Ghostbusters though.
I mean, it
You know what?
says not past ones, but that's not to say there may not be
Yeah,
a
they could
new
bring them back
skin
for Transformers 1 or
that's
something like that. I don't
available
know.
from a different thing or whatever. So
Mhm.
I'm just saying, with gaming like that, with Fortnite, which I don't play, it's never say never.
All this reminds me of is when Taco Bell and Arby's are, Arby's is like, potato cakes are back, and Taco Bell's like, nacho fries are back, and McDonald's like, McRib is back, and then 18 months later, they're like,
Shamrock
what's
Shake.
the McRib? So,
Yeah, we
Yeah,
don't know
but
what
the
this is.
McRib is a kind of institution at this point. McDonald's is
yeah,
the
and
first
I'm
one to
saying
do it.
Fortnite's going to make it that people are going to be like, oh, it's that time again. It's the time when all your favorite skins come back from, if you missed it.
Yeah, that'll be kind of a fun one. The other bit of Fortnite news I thought was interesting is actually in regards to Deadpool. They brought back Deadpool and Wolverine, and come to find out, I guess Lego will not allow a Deadpool Lego anymore. They're not going to be making the figures. They're not making him in sets. They won't allow him in the game.
Why not?
Because best we can tell, it's a marketing thing. They're just like, he should not be a kid's toy anymore. So the last official Deadpool that they ever made in a Lego form was like a Comic-Con exclusive version of him. They had a couple little goofy ones, and he was in a set years back with the X-Men, but he, as far as I can tell, will not be coming back to any more Lego games or Lego sets.
Yeah, he's. I mean, if you want, he's in the Lego Marvel superheroes stuff.
Yeah.
So if you want to see
Oh,
Lego
and
Deadpool, he's in there.
don't Google how much Deadpool for PS4 and Xbox One are going for right now.
Oh God, I'm glad I already have those.
I wish I still had mine. I don't know where it went.
Hundreds and hundreds of dollars now.
Holy crap!
Because they can't re-release it because the license expired.
Once again, I'm really glad I got the Xbox version and I just have that.
Wonder.
And the 360 one also, I think. Oh, good Lord.
I wonder.
Well, she's wondering. All right, we're gonna move on then. So let's talk some QuakeCon. All right, so QuakeCon 2024 has gone on again, and we got a couple of interesting announcements and one loophole that might still be good. We'll have to let you know. So first off, we're getting a new version of Doom and Doom 2 called Doom Plus Doom 2. It's available now. It's $10 if you don't already have this, but be it on Steam, on PS5, PS4, Xbox One, Series X, and I believe the Switch. If you
I
have,
tested on Switch.
so I might actually have this then, because if you have Doom 1 or Doom 2, you don't have to have both, just one or the other, you automatically get the set of them, which is cool. The loophole being there's places online you can go to, which we shared on our Discord. Who I think, Steven, it was you that did that. Thanks. Because I immediately used it. And for $1.50, I got Doom 1, and it gave me both of them. So that was nice.
So Doom 1 sold out on that site, but Doom 2 is still available. I bought Doom 2 for $1.75 or $1.74, so I could get both, because the fact that they said they're adding co-op to Doom, I was like, okay.
I want to try that, because we can have 16 of us on there, and it is crossplay, being able to play it. So this just seems excessive. And I want to try it so bad. The other thing is they announced the Doom Anthology, which is going to be $80, which I'm guessing somebody added that because I did not have the price
Yes.
yet.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it's on Amazon and Best Buy right now.
I'm
And
kind of
Bethesda
tempted.
Store.
Yeah, I kind of want this because you get a smaller light up and sound generating BFG with it, but it's just a digital collection of all the games. So if you already have them all, you're pretty much just spending $80 to buy a small BFG, which is
Yep.
still cool, but I don't know if it's worth quite that. So I might be skipping that one. This next one, I was very confused by at first, but I've looked into it. Super Nintendo Doom is coming back, which is great. It's actually getting updates and this is coming out via limited run games. So I know on the Discord, some of you guys joked about like, oh, Jeremy will just get the ROM for it. I can't. I don't think they can make a ROM for this because it has a specially built FPGA in it that is basically an overclocked Super FX chip. So the original programmer could come back using that and get the Super Nintendo Doom running up to its normal speed. They were able to add in, that performance, add in the extra missing levels from Ultimate Doom and Thy Flesh Consumed. Circle strafing is now in, so you can finally circle strafe, which you couldn't really do in the Super Nintendo one. I'm hoping that the creatures will be able to turn around, because if you ever play that on Super Nintendo, they cannot turn around. You cannot sneak up on anyone. They don't have backs, so they'll just be looking at you the whole time. We're getting password system and cheats, including level selects and stuff like that, which were not there.
Nice.
So you'll be able to select any of the episodes and difficulties now, including monsters can respawn on nightmare difficulty. So no matter how many you kill, they will keep coming back, which is going to be great. They've also added in full motion video intros, and then specters are not being implemented they're being implemented using a custom form of blending, or they're now being implemented. So we're getting those new creatures as well. They're releasing this as a physical cartridge for Super Nintendo. A normal edition is like a gunmetal gray is how they describe it, which I'm kind of iffy about because I'm going to get it. It's the only way I can play that. But I really like the red original cartridge. Do you guys, any of y'all have that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the few red ones. The other one was, I believe, Spider-Man Maximum Carnage. But the limited edition, I didn't see exactly what else it comes with, but the cartridge itself is gray with like a red digital blood splatter look on it. It looks almost like camo, but they're only making 666 of that one. So yeah, definitely throw the horns. I'm probably not getting that one. I'm sure that one's going to be eaten alive immediately. Like, welcome back to the old school limited run games with the site probably going down. Anybody else going to be getting this or interested in this?
Probably not. I'm terrible at those games, but I'm glad that people can enjoy the classics like that.
Yeah, Super Nintendo Doom was actually the first way I was able to play Doom. So I know it well, and I find this should be interesting. Another weird thing they're doing is they're adding Rumble support for, I guess, a Super Nintendo controller that's coming out that will have Rumble, but I did not see anything about this. But it was noted that they did it, so...
Yeah, they just said a special one-of-a-kind controller is coming out, too.
Yeah, I didn't see any notification about it, so that was kind of a weird one. The last thing from QuakeCon that I saw is Doom Eternal is now getting full mod support. So it's kind of cool that those things are coming out. I know, Steven, you had posted a different thing about Starfield getting Doom content.
Yeah, they showed the trailer. Mod. Yeah, they showed a trailer. It's basically like they're getting a Doom episode.
Yeah, they're letting him do it, but it's a modder that's doing that. It's not official from them, but it's still cool. He's putting it out for free, letting people get it, but it is a mod, not official on there, because that's why I kept looking for it, going, where is it? So I'll have to try and find that mod and see if you can mess with it, because you can get the double barrel shotgun, the super shotgun from Doom 2016. I think is the one they modeled it after. So I'm always down for a shotgun in Starfield. They're a lot of fun. So we got a bunch of Doom stuff. All right, on to our next little bit. All right, so this one I just want to cover really quick. Warner Brothers kind of made a weird decision in regards to the fact that they shut down Cartoon Network's website without notifying anyone. They just wiped it off the face of the earth and left it with a loading page that just popped up on there. Every time you click on it now, it just goes straight to saying like, hey, you can watch all these things if you pay a subscription on to Max to watch some of the cartoons. But all of the games that were on Cartoon Network's website, all of the other little multimedia things, the free episodes kids used to be able to watch, all of that is gone so far, at least in the United States. A few other countries still have access to it, but we don't know how long that will last. The cable channel of Cartoon Network is still here. You can still watch stuff on there if you have cable. Kids, ask your parents what cable is. Or just keep learning what it is as all of the media streaming stuff becomes basically freaking cable.
Yep.
And this is along the time of like the Boomerang Classic service, which used to be a channel as well, where they would show like the old Hanna-Barbera cartoons and stuff like that. They've already shut that down recently before this. So, just like Chase is saying, goodbye, guys.
I just wanted to say, I won't say anything else but this, but
Okay.
if you do like watching old cartoons and you miss Boomerang, like the service and stuff like that, Boomerang is still a subscription service, by the way. It is still something that you can do a subscription for, annual, monthly, whatever. There's an app, but there's something called Me TV Tunes
That one's a better one.
recently. I will say that if they do an app or a subscription thing, I will 100% be subscribing to it if they ever do that, because it's got
they just got the rights to show all the episodes of the Ghostbusters too.
Yep. They've got
really?
everything from Two Stupid Dogs and the Secret Squirrel, if you guys remember that.
Squirrel.
Yep.
All the way to Yogi Bear. They even got Woody Woodpecker, which is wild.
Yeah, they're basically going around and saying like, "Can we have your cartoon? We'll pay you." And they're like, "Yeah, here's the rights." So
yeah, they've got
awesome idea.
They've got everything. Like they've even got Scoob, like almost all of the old Scooby stuff. They got
Nice.
Josie and the Pussycats, whatever. So if you want old cartoons, they have it on MeTV. So, and you can go on their website and you can look up your zip code and basically look up where to get it. So
Okay. So there's a little bit of a silver lining on that, like still a way to get your old cartoons for this.
I do want to add something real quick.
Yes, please do.
I just looked up the Cartoon Network HQ website, and it looks like it is back up, and the games are there. So apparently there might have been a maintenance issue, or enough people complained.
Well, are you on HQ or are you on CartoonNetwork.com?
Well, no, HQ, and it does have games and things. If you go to CartoonNetwork.com, it takes you to Max.
Okay, no, CartoonNetwork.com does take you to Max, yes, and it does, but there is the Cartoon Network channel landing page on Max. But all the shows still appear to be there, but at least all the, more recent ones.
Yeah, we'll have to see where that is. Because sadly, this is the other thing. A lot of these games, or all of these games, are pretty much digital only. There's no way to preserve them. So once they are taken down, that's it. They're gone. And they may not be big, complicated games, but a lot of people grew up playing these things.
But Cartoon Network HQ, yeah, it is still up. I just pulled it up. So,
well, that's good to know.
Preservation people, if you're listening,
go for it.
Maybe go for it.
Definitely. All right, so moving on from the mess that is Warner Brothers to a whole bunch of Disney announcements. So D23 was yesterday, and Disney'd. They overpromised.
They brought the Disney.
Yeah, they brought the Disney.
I don't know what they announced for the parks, so now I'm gonna have to look that up.
I didn't include the park stuff because I didn't know how many people would be interested in doing the park things. And
That is okay. I'm gonna look it up right now.
cool. Rachel can fill us in. All right,
Yeah.
so Moana 2 was shown off. We got a trailer for that. Thank God it's still animated. It looks really good. Looks like it's going to be funny. We get to see a pig get exhausted and a chicken almost get shot. So, hey, I was almost getting shot or drowned or something happening to him. But I'm liking it. I want to see what Jennifer thinks of it when she gets a chance to see it. From that, we jumped in. I guess some of this got out of order. I thought I had Star Wars stuff further down. They had Star Wars Skeleton Crew, which is basically Star Wars and Goonies, is what it seems like.
Looked
You're not
really
skipping
good.
your
The
house,
trailer
but huh?
looked really good. The trailer, because that's the vibes I got were Goonies.
I don't know if we talked about it beforehand, but that's exactly what I was saying about it. So, hey.
Oh, it is still going on. It was just the movie stuff yesterday. So today is more stuff. So
nice.
It's August 9th through the 11th in Anaheim. So we'll
this is
probably
D23 day 1.
Yes, so we'll get more announcements.
Just about everything leaked. So if you need to see the Fantastic Four trailer again or the new Captain America trailer, you can find it.
I did see the Captain America. That was interesting.
I will say that typically with the parks news, there was a lot that they're keeping a lot of it under wraps, but that's
seeing Harrison Hulk was
it was weird seeing his face on there.
Yeah.
So then we got some stuff for Mufasa the Lion King, which is another live action prequel.
Do you know where I got this scar?
I'm not a huge fan of the live action Disney stuff. Like,
Jeremy, I'm with you on that. Me either, with very few exceptions.
But you can't argue that the first one made more money than the original now.
I will say, the Beauty and the Beast live action was good. The Cinderella one was good.
I just find it funny that first we get Transformers 1 and now we're getting Mufasa, where it's just like they were enemies, but first they were brothers. I was like, again?
Great. Does Mufasa get the the matrix of leadership? And
I was like, well, I guess we're going to see how he gets the scar.
Well, I mean, that made sense, though. I mean, they mentioned that one in The Lion King, at least. One thing I don't like is, and a lot of people mentioned how, let's say, expressionless the characters were in the original Lion King because, they're animals and they're supposed to look like animals. Apparently, this prequel makes them smile in this weird, almost, how to put it, like, FaceTime kind of way.
Jim Henson.
Uncanny Valley type.
Uncanny Valley, yes.
I'm always reminded of like the Jim Henson where they could make him smile and stuff.
So yes,
at least then they looked like because they were Muppets.
I'll be watching that one the same way I watched the previous one and every live action Disney movie.
I just didn't watch them.
I will say because I don't see it in here. I think you might have missed it.
Might have. I filled out a lot of this early this morning.
I'm really excited for, and so is my wife, the trailer for Lego's Rebuild the Galaxy.
Oh, I did watch the trailer and forgot to add this on here. I think I even posted it on the Discord.
So Chris, basically somebody messes with the Star Wars timeline and goes into an alternate timeline where even Luke Skywalker doesn't want to be the savior and Jar Jar's a Sith. It's awesome.
Yeah,
it's just a messed up Star Wars world.
Yeah, the main kid finds the corner piece of the galaxy and plucks it, and it breaks everything down and basically flips how everybody is. So there's like a Darth Vader and all white wandering around.
Yeah, like all the AT-ATs are like now rebel colored and stuff. It was awesome.
So wait, this is Lego?
And and Ewoks are bounty hunters.
Yeah, it's like a 4-part TV show they're doing.
Yeah.
See, if this was a movie and live action, I'd watch it.
I think in this regards, it has to kind of be Lego, but it's that really good Lego animation, and they're just really poking fun at Star Wars. Like there's TIE fighters with X-Wings, like the ball with wings.
I want Star Wars to be made fun of the same way Deadpool made fun of Marvel. I want Star Wars characters to own up and be ready for themselves to be made fun of.
So maybe you'll get your comic book idea one day.
Tag and Bink. I love Tag and Bink. The Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead of Star Wars. Oh, such a great comic.
Oh Lord. Yeah, I'm excited for that one. I think it's going to be really funny.
I can't wait for that one.
Yeah, good call. Next up, we have Snow White, the other live action one where we got to see Gal Gadot shown as the evil queen for the first time. I have not watched the trailer for this one, but I know the star and some of the casting and things they were saying about it. It was kind of controversial. So I'm curious to see how this turns out.
I
It
love
was very
how
shiny.
many. I love how many. I haven't watched anything from this at all. I don't know why I haven't, but I
Posted
have
them. I posted them all last night in the
Mhm.
trailer.
Yep.
I'll have to look through it. I have not. I'll be honest with you. I have not watched any of anything. The only thing that I saw was someone's filmed the next announcement thing that you're gonna talk about after
I
this
saw
one
this,
in the
yes.
list. I saw this and I was like, oh, that looks actually like the model looks very good. So that was my only thought.
And the guy who does the voice works for Disney, so you're good.
Yeah.
The one she's talking about is Disney's Lilo and Stitch, which is also a live action. And Stitch, yeah, the model looked good. It still looked a little weird seeing him that furry because he's more smoothly drawn in the show and the cartoon and all that stuff. So adding the texture made him
That's
look a little
'cause-
Yeah,
weird.
you get to see his fur when you thought he was like a
That's because
blob before.
that's because
Yeah.
I guess fur back then, like copious amounts of it was kind of hard to animate.
Well, it
so
wasn't even that. I mean, he was a 2D drawing. He wasn't always
Exactly.
a 3D model. So that
Yeah.
was how they kept that art style. Because that whole style was based. I wish I could remember the artist's name, but everything from the landscape, the animals, the people, all the creatures were based around that art
It's-
style.
I wish they would redo it though, but if you guys looked it up or if you guys remember it, the original marketing for Lilo and Stitch was amazing.
Oh yeah, it was good.
Where he kept
and also
kept interrupting Disney movies.
have you guys played the Lilo and Stitch game on the Game Boy Advance?
Yeah, one of them plays like Metal Slug.
It is so good. Yes, it plays like Metal Slug and
What?
it's hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Check it out. I
Pretty
have
sure I
it.
skipped.
It animates and
add
plays
that.
like Metal Slug. It's really
it
good.
is so colorful and the music slaps.
That just
It's
seems like a
good.
game I would have skipped on just.
I think it's the second one that plays like Metal Slug and the first one doesn't. It's one or the other.
The first one, the first one plays really well. It's side-scrolling shooter.
Huh.
Like another run and gun.
Yeah, it's a run and gun.
I
Yeah.
have to add this to my list. I have a database of games, and you can put a wish list for each system what you're looking for. So, just adding more stuff to it every time. All right. So after that, we got all I saw was just a picture of the title. So they Metroid Prime 4'd this thing. Avatar 3: Fire and Ash.
I didn't
Yeah.
even watch the second one.
I have the second one, but we haven't sat down and watched it. I bought it in 4K.
I-
The way
and
of
I forgot I
water.
bought it.
I quite literally do not remember enough of the first one right now to watch the second one. And
They're
the
blue
last
and they're
time,
going for unobtainium. That's the
And-
writing you get.
okay,
How original!
and the last time that I watched the first one or tried to rewatch the first one, I fell asleep.
Well, stay tuned to Avatar 3, Filler and Ash. I mean, Fire and Ash.
Look, last time I watched Avatar, we watched Aang take down the Fire Nation.
You're not
I'm like, I
wrong.
already saw Pocahontas. I don't need to see Smurf Pocahontas.
Yeah, they could just, if anybody mislabels this and be like, it's Avatar 3 or Book 3, Fire and Ash, be like, wait, the other good Avatar? Oh,
Yes.
she's just yawning. Damn.
I'm sorry.
It's Avatar.
It's after
Yeah, it's Avatar.
it's after 9 p.m. I start yawning if I'm sitting
How are
down.
you older than us yet younger, Rachel?
I've lived a
9
lot.
p.m. Do you
I've-
know where your children are?
I've lived a lot of life.
She's living through it quickly.
Yeah.
All right, Toy Story 5, written and directed by Andrew Stanton,
So-
was shown off. So they're not letting
d-
this die.
I did see that the premise of it kind of is toys competing for attention against electronics, and I was like, oh Jesus Christ, iPad children.
And they said the villain is an army of malfunctioning Buzz Lightyears.
Oh, I didn't see that part. I just thought they announced like we're making it, and then here's
So they announced the villain, and then they said, yeah, they're going against electronics finally.
Didn't we
Nice.
already have this with the Mitchells versus the Machines?
I
That's
love
not
that
Toy
movie.
Story.
I don't care. Mitchell's vs. Machine is fantastic. I love that film.
That's probably why Toy Story 5 exists.
Honestly, Toy Story should have just ended at 4. I thought they did a good job with it. They pulled off a 4th one I didn't think they even could, and just let that go. Like, just end it there. But guess we're getting a 5th. Pixar then continued on to announce Win or Lose, their first official Disney Plus show, coming out December 6th. And then they had an Inside Out spin-off series called Dream Productions coming out next year in 2025. I still need to see Inside Out 2. I'm waiting for it just to come to 4K.
It's
so
the movie that dethroned Mario movie.
Oh, dang it. Mario movie was so good.
Yeah, it was good.
I'm sure this is going to be great. I just like to stuff like this. I'd rather just go ahead and get so we can watch it here at home.
There's only I'm with you on that, Jeremy, because there's only a few movies that I will actually like go see in theaters.
Yes. This next one I will go see in theaters. Incredibles 3 is officially in the works at Pixar. That's all they said. I saw no other details on it.
They're not giving any details because they know better. Pixar is actually pretty good about that. So.
I love that late 50s, early 60s futuristic design they stick with for that series.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope we just get more of that.
Yeah, I like that vibe too. As a big fan of the Jetsons. Yeah.
More Frozone looking for his super suit. Andor is getting season 2 in 2025, which I still need to finish the first season. I've heard nothing but really good things for a lot of people about this one because it is kind of like a political thriller. But Amanda was originally going to watch it with me. She's been kind of busy. It slipped my mind. I need to just go ahead and watch it, get it over with.
Did we just skip over to? Did I hallucinate?
Yeah, that's my bad. I will jump back to those. Well, somebody keeps moving a cursor around and it draws my attention. It's throwing me
Rachel.
off.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm just
yeah. Every time you keep highlighting stuff and it messes with my screen, and I'm like, "Stop it! I have ADHD."
Hey, you skipped Hopper from Bug's Life. No, it's not Hopper from Bug's Life.
You're killing. Zootopia 2 is coming November 26, 2025. That was announced. Ki Hu Kwan will be playing.
I'm so excited about that particular thing in particular.
Yeah, a wanted reptile escapee. Steven, go ahead.
Do watch the because they're not taking it down because it's just the announcement. Do watch the announcement for Zootopia 2 because they show like their parody movie posters and they did Dead Mule and Wolverine, and they said Mufasa and the original movie Nufasa. So they had all those animal puns in there.
Oh my gee, the
posters look great. I would buy a poster of Dead Mule and Wolverine.
I would too. I hope they put it out. Or if not, some really brave person will recreate it.
Please tell me he's got like 3 adamantium horns. Just
look just like the poster. I was like, oh, this is great.
Yeah, I missed that. I saw the announcement. They showed like some cover art, and then most of what I saw also was just Ki Hu Kwan with the snake in the background while they were showing that.
I think that's wonderful.
Whenever Jennifer hears about this next one, she's going to scream. You're all going to hear it. Do not be afraid. It is just her being excited. Frozen 3 is coming in 2027 with concept art was all that was shown so far. But we're getting another one because it never ends. Yeah, they will not because its bank account just continues to grow.
They need something to give them their money, I guess.
I have to say I did enjoy both films. Frozen 1 and Frozen 2, I actually thought were well done.
I
did a better job than I thought it would.
I liked the second one better than the first one, but overall, I'm just like, I don't.
I think the story was better in the second one, but it was at least kind of a...
I'm going to wonder what they're going to have as a hit, because first you had Let It Go, then you had Into the Unknown. What's going to be number 3?
Yeah.
I just like how all these Marvel movies have been failing, and now Disney's like, all right, back to the drawing board.
I wish they'd go to an actual drawing board. Everything has to be CG, it seems.
Yeah.
All right, so The Mandalorian and Grogu, we got some footage that were shown. They talked about it, but I wasn't going to go into a lot of the detail here. Though we did get to see Grogu in a little Mandalorian suit, which is going to be hilarious.
That's cute.
Yeah, I want to see it. I heard about it, but I haven't seen it. It's going to hit theaters May 22nd, 2026.
It's for Chase's birthday.
There you go. Nice. Now you all know Chase's birthday. May 23rd. Ironheart got a first look video for the Disney Plus series coming out in 2025, which I'm glad this was not canceled. People were just like wanting this to be canceled, thinking it was going to be canceled. I'm happy to see it.
By the Black Panther guy too.
Yes.
Ryan Coogler.
Ryan Coogler, yes. So I'm excited to see where they go with that, because the character is fun in the comic books, and she does have a connection with Iron Man that works out well. I don't know how they're going to continue that, or if they'll have some kind of relation with that. But even if they don't, it's nice to see they're continuing on.
Mm-hmm.
This next one, though, I was super happy about. Daredevil Born Again.
They're all back, and I wanted to cry.
So bad. This is coming March 2025. Steven, go ahead.
If you can find it, watch the leaked trailer. Not only do you see the 6 different outfits he's gonna wear, but you get to see, but you get to see some of the villains, and you know from one of the villains that it's gonna be a rated R, because this villain is known for building bodies out of other body parts.
Jigsaw.
That's his thing. So I was just like, oh, and the fact that they're gonna do a team up with the Punisher and the Kingpin, I was like, oh god. So good.
It's coming, and they're all back. The 3 people from the Netflix series are back.
Yeah, the fight scenes still look amazing.
They got all three the Daredevil, Foggy, and the girl.
I was hoping they would come back. Like, because I really liked that pick of Foggy Nelson. I thought he was a great foil to go with them. So nice.
I literally, that was the only thing I cared about it. I was like, oh yeah, the chick who played Jessica in True Blood is back.
Like seeing the other costumes, I was like, oh geez, I can't wait.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm curious because I'm thinking like I've always liked Daredevil, so like I know they've shown the black original suit, we've seen the red, we've now seen the yellow that was in She-Hulk, which I thought was a great throwback. I'm like, what other armors like? That's potentially 3 more that they could show, if not more other ones. Something.
So find the leak trailer however you can, but just find it and watch it because it's so good.
I'm gonna be on that for sure.
I saw it on TikTok and I was like, yes, this looks so good.
Say what, Chase?
Didn't he have an all-white one? An all-white suit at one point?
I think so.
I think he did. I'm curious if they actually did the armored one he had that was like black and red. I don't think
other than the villain, they said White Tiger makes an appearance.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So they're bringing in the goods.
Nice.
These next 2 things are very exciting to me.
Me too.
I definitely the next one, Tron, you got to let me say it because I have a dramatic way of saying it.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Percy Jackson, the Percy Jackson 2, I'm sorry, the 2nd season is coming, points towards Sea of Monsters being the storyline that they're going to cover.
Well, that is the next book in the series, so yeah.
They're doing it in chronological, it seems. I really liked the first season. I know they made some certain changes, but with the writer being directly involved, it's kind of more he's allowed to streamline or correct things after the fact how he wants to. And I thought they handled it well. So as long as they keep that level of detail and work in the 2nd season, I could see this going on for a while. Which is great.
I hope we see more of characters that we only saw little, snippets of as things go on. Like Hephaestus, I wanted to see more because I love Timothy Odmanson a lot, and I think he's perfect for Hephaestus.
I'm sad that they're going to have to recast Zeus, sadly, but
I mean, the gods are known in this particular series to change their form and look quite often, so it's not unheard of. So they can easily explain that.
They need to keep Ares, though. That guy was great.
Oh, yeah, no, he is great. He's good. 100%.
Chase, go ahead. Or I'm sorry, not Chase. Steven, sorry.
Before we
what? I didn't have anything to say.
Before we get to the exciting announcement, I remembered one that I just wanted to wedge in that I thought was really funny.
Go for it.
Is that Disney, of all people, are making a live-action Monster Jam movie. Yes, that Monster Jam that you play on your video games, starring The Rock, and it's going to be live action.
I thought that was just like a TV series about monster trucks. I didn't think it was an actual movie.
The Rock's in it.
Yeah, I thought he was just like the host or something of this thing about monster trucks.
People are saying it's gonna be not just TV series, but just like a feature length thing.
So I get okay. Maybe this is like
How the
Rock-
mighty have fallen. You go from Black Adam to Monster Jam.
Yeah, this is the Rock's apology tour.
Yeah. One kind of like sidebar back to Percy Jackson. I
Yes.
hope the internet leaves that main character actor of the boy of Percy. They need to leave him alone. Just leave him alone. Please,
Seriously,
for the love of
yes.
God, leave him alone. That's
People
all I
being
wanted to
a-holes
say.
to him.
There's
the
a lot
internet, I know
going on
they
with
are.
it. There's a lot going. If you wanna Google it, you can.
I don't want to, but I hate the
mm-mm.
fact that I probably already know.
Yeah, it's not good. Okay,
People are
so
crappy. Rachel,
here we
carry on
go.
with our next part.
Disney, hey, guess what? We're doing another Tron movie, Tron Ares. Everyone, okay, whatever. We are paying 9 Inch Nails to reunite to do the music. Well, sign me up, Buttercup. Let's go. Yeah. Jared Leto's the main person. Oh, okay.
I'll get the soundtrack.
I'll get the soundtrack.
Yeah, so pretty much 9 Inch Nails, they didn't really pay to reunite anybody.
Yeah.
They just paid Trent Reznor to come do stuff, and he'll be like, if I let you join me, you can. Otherwise, he'll just play every damn thing, record it, and go out.
Oh, yeah, no.
The announcement was cool, though, because they didn't even announce Tron. First, they took these lasers and they etched 9 Inch Nails on the screen. Everybody's like, what is this? And then they were like, Tron Ares. And everybody's like, what?
Yeah, everyone lost their dang minds in the theater, by the way. But then everybody was like, oh, Jeff Bridges come back. Yeah. But then Jared Leto. So I hope they don't let him do whatever he wants.
Yeah, I don't want him going crazy. Leto can do really good stuff.
He really can. He's an incredible performer, an incredible actor, but it's just that sometimes he goes a little too far and does a little too much.
Yeah.
So
he's gonna be like, it's Tron time.
They definitely need someone to rein him in.
He got a raw deal with the his portrayal of the Joker. Like, they really were pushing for a weird one. I guess
unless you read about how much he got into the character to send rats to everybody.
Yeah, that was very strange.
Yeah. So I mean, the wild, but
not my favorite Joker at all.
No.
Method acting sure is a thing.
I mean, he's I've seen him in other films and stuff, and he's very good. Like, he's good.
Maybe he'll just get a method acting on this, and he'll just play video games all day. And just
I don't
chill
know.
Out.
I don't know. Maybe
on the internet.
You know what? Maybe Jeff Bridges will temper his whatever he's got going on.
It's just, mellow out, man.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. All right, so I guess we hopefully will be getting more announcements for the D23 that we'll talk about on the next show next week for whatever was announced today
and tomorrow.
So probably just going to be some highlights. These were the big ones where they leaked out. I'm definitely, as soon as we're done and I start editing, I'm going to be hunting down that damn Daredevil trailer because I want to see it. So while we're playing games tonight, I can nerd the shit out with it because I miss being able to nerd out with people about good comic book things. Chris is always busy.
He's in space.
Guys, they've read some comic books.
Chris, I know you know good comics, so I know I can talk to you about these.
They did show today. They did show the new animated series, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, with the Black Norman Osborn. Doctor Strange will be in it. Doctor Strange will have to fight a symbiote. It looks interesting.
Yeah, because this is an alternate universe Spider-Man, but still...
Yeah.
I'm very interested to see how it goes. I don't know. I like some of the animated series. We got hints towards the next season of X-Men as well. They were at least showing off stuff for the first one.
Yeah, because today was their animation block, so you're going to hear about a lot of their cartoons.
The funny thing is, just on that really quick, the director and producer for the X-Men 97, we still don't know why he was fired all of a sudden before the show came out. But he was at the event. He was still invited and seeing the stuff and posting pictures. So it's like, what happened that you had to let him go, yet you're still bringing him into these things?
They talked about Marvel. They showed Marvel Zombies, made from the What If. They talked about the What If season 3 because they're, what do you call it? Oscar Isaac's gonna reprise his role as Moon Knight in What If series 3.
I can't wait for a new season of Moon Knight.
And the person who voiced Spider-Man in What If is the voice of Spider-Man in the new animated series.
Nice.
Okay, hold
Couldn't
on.
afford some Tom Holland.
I'm reading more about Tron Ares, and they're mentioning nothing about the other Tron movie that came out. What is it?
There wasn't any other Tron movie.
There
It was just a Daft Punk album. What are you talking about?
Legacy. It was
It
called
was just a
Tron
Daft
Yeah,
Punk
they're
Legacy.
not mentioning anything. Even Jeff Bridges isn't mentioning anything.
No, Steven, it was 2 Daft Punk albums. They had a remix one, remember?
Yeah.
But
So
one of them exploded, so now there's no more Daft Punk.
anyway, they're not mentioning it at all, which I think is interesting. And then it says Tron Ares follows a highly sophisticated program, Ares, who is sent from the digital world into the real world on a dangerous mission, marking humankind's first encounter with AI beings. And I was like, "Ooh!" So I mean,
So,
So did you copy and paste that from the Lawnmower Man?
oh
don't
god.
know.
So, Steven, what they need to have in this movie to make it perfect is if they have another bar scene and they have Daft Punk playing music, is have the one remaining guy still playing and have the other one all glitched out like the file was corrupted and just messing up the whole
So-
time.
I'm just wondering
Like,
if
oh,
they've-
you must be an Intel chip.
I'm just wondering if they've like retconned Legacy, or if they're just gonna just
They made money on Legacy. I don't
oh, they
think they're
did.
wiping
And
that
and
out.
I
Like,
actually I have a story for this. I watched
like
Tron
Legacy.
Legacy for the first time when I was at Fort Wilderness Campground, and I watched
that's an
that.
interesting place to
Yeah.
watch it.
No, it was for my high school graduation. Me and my parents went out to Fort Wilderness Campground and stayed out there
Oh, I
for like
felt
2
old now.
weeks. Yeah. Stayed out there for like 2 weeks, and we they have a movie, like an outdoor movie theater where you bring your own camp chairs and your own food and you watch an outdoor movie. It's great. And that's the first
Nice.
place I watched Tron Legacy, and it was really entertaining. So
It's a good movie. I know
it's a
people
good
were giving it
movie.
crap, but
So
liked
I don't
it.
know why people give it,
Because people
crap
like to
about
hate
it.
on things.
So
Just quit hating on everything. All right, so let's move to our big question for this week.
yeah,
I hit the right button this time.
you did. I'm proud of you.
All right, so talking about some of the stuff earlier with like ports and reformats and things that are going on. With ports, re-releases, collections, new formats, etc., what are some titles that you have bought the most in your collection? So these are physical or digital if you bought them. So stuff like Nintendo Switch Online don't count because you don't own them. You're just paying the subscription fee. They will go away. But Wii Virtual Console, Wii U, PlayStation Network, things like that do count. And I'm kind of curious to see how this is going to go. Chase, I want to start with you.
I really buy a lot of these.
Well,
so-
I mean, it may not be the highest number, but I think all of us have fallen victim to repeat buys of stuff where we just, every time it comes out, we get it. So,
yeah, I mean, when they remade Gears of War 1, I got that, and then I've also gotten all the remakes that they've done of or remasters that they've done of like Darksiders games. Two series I really like. So
2 times now with a maybe third coming out, like they keep re-releasing that game.
yeah, I guess apparently there's another Darksiders game being made. So I thought that
I
was
hope
really
so.
weird timing. But,
Yeah, I didn't see much actual official news. That's why I didn't include it. But I'm
They
looking
just
forward to it.
said, it's in active development.
Yeah,
It's
that's all
part
we
of their
got.
THQ Nordic showcase.
I was gonna wait and kind of keep that for when we had more solid stuff.
so,
All right,
yeah,
oh.
that's it for me.
All right, Steven, what about you?
I have 2 categories: willingly and unwillingly. Willingly, I probably own every version of Tetris that's probably out there. By choice, because
Yeah.
as soon as I saw the word Tetris in its name, I was like, I'll take it. See how this one plays. Give it my good or bad.
I had to pass on a Japanese Game Boy copy of Tetris today.
Because I even made sure to buy the first Genesis Mini, because it had the Genesis version of Tetris on it. So I was like, there's another version of Tetris
Yep.
that didn't exist until now.
Oh wow.
I think the only one I've passed on so far is Tetris Grandmaster, the arcade version for Switch. Just because there's a mode where all the pieces are invisible, and I was just like, maybe that's beyond my skill level.
Yeah, why?
I don't know. And then unwillingly, because they love to throw it in everything, it's kind of like their whore, is Street Fighter 2. So I've gotten Arcade Stadium for Capcom. I've gotten Capcom Collections. I've gotten Capcom Fighting Collections, and it's always, guess what's in it? Street Fighter 2. Get 30th anniversary Street Fighter 2. Do you like Street Fighter 2? Have some Street Fighter 2 on with your Street Fighter 2.
Yes.
I have so many versions of that. I don't ever want to play it ever again.
I think it's not really even so much of an answer, but I think I'm right there with you with Street Fighter 2 because I'm like, oh God, I did unwittingly get all of these copies. Oh, Jesus. All right, Rachel, what about you?
So, I have a couple of different, like 3 or 4 series that I just consistently buy with whatever they come out on. I think I have the the Tasmanian Tiger games. I have, of course, the originals on the game. I have them on GameCube. I have like all of them, by the way, all 3. I don't talk about the 4th one. I only have it on Steam. I have all the first 3 also on Steam. I have the first 2 on Nintendo Switch. 3rd one, I don't know what's going on with that. They won't talk about it. I'm not sure why. Weird. And then I think I have the first one again on PS4 because I was part of their like Kickstarter program, and they did like this some thing where I ended up getting 2 codes, one for Switch and one for PS4. So weird. Have that multiple times. I love that game series. I also have the Ace Attorney series. I have them on DS, 3DS, Steam, Nintendo Switch. I think on one of my previous iPhones, I also had them on the Apple Store.
Oh,
they have since deleted themselves. I think I got Ace Attorney investigations on there. Some of them, sometimes when you buy something on the Apple Store, when it's an older version, sometimes you will never find it again in your account. It's very sad, but I only spent like $5 on it at the time, so I don't really care. And then of course, obviously, Kingdom Hearts.
Nice.
So,
Chris, what about you?
For me, it's Mario because various Mario games came bundled in with other Mario games in various versions.
Yes.
So you would buy Mario Advance, which would have Mario Brothers, and you would have other games like Mario Advance 2, which would have Super Mario Brothers, or, Super Mario Brothers 2, Mario USA. So somehow I have stockpiles upon stockpiles of different Mario games that are bundled with other Mario games, and I don't know which ones come from which. Aside from that, I also have various versions of the Mega Man and Mega Man X games because they always come in a collection that has almost everything, but then a new one or new 2 come out, and then you have to get the collections again.
Did you ever get any of the versions of X for Game Boy Color?
Oh, the extreme ones?
Yes.
No, sadly, I did not.
X.
Yeah, unfortunately, I missed out on those and the later Battle Network, but mostly the mainline Mega Man and Mega Man X games. I have tons of those on various systems.
Nice. So for me, I'm gonna actually borrow Steven's idea of witting and unwilling, because the more I think about it, unwilling, yeah, I'm right there about Street Fighter 2. The other one I think I've unwillingly gotten so many of is Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh yeah,
that has been on so many collections. Like I have the actual game. There's the 6-in-1 cartridge. There's collections on Saturn, on Sega CD, on Dreamcast, on 360, on like every Sega collection it's come in there. It's just I have so many copies of that game. It's ridiculous. Now, the only game that I have bought the most of is going to be Super Mario Brothers as well, but it's almost pathological because I have gotten that game. It was my first one on the NES, so I have Mario and Duck Hunt. Then I've later found just Super Mario Brothers. Then I found all the variations of the case of Super Mario Brothers and what it was released with. So I've got like 8 or 9 versions of Super Mario Brothers just on the Nintendo. Not even counting the classic edition for Game Boy Advance, the NES Mini, the Wii U Virtual Consoles, technically Animal Crossing, because I have all that to do it. I have the Game & Watch of it. It just keeps going. There's so many damn copies. Super Mario All-Stars containing that. I have that multiple times on the Wii and everything else. I own an unhealthy amount of Super Mario Brothers 1. And that's what made me think about it when that question came up. I was like, I wonder if anybody else has a game they have just consistently and unhealthily bought that many times. And I'm not sure what's going on in the side chat here, but apparently Steven sent Rachel something about Ty the Tasmanian Devil, and all I see is Rachel's response, "Damn it, Steven." So now I want to know what's going on. Please tell me. I'm calling you out. Calling you out in front of you passing notes in the middle of class.
So there's he also just reminded me that I have to go pick up my copy of Cat Quest 3 because I think that came out today.
I love this group and this whole show.
But no, there's a Bush Rescue bundle that is going to be all of the games physically on cart, including Ty the Tasmanian Tiger 4. But Chrome Studios, where is Ty the Tasmanian Tiger 3? I need to know.
Do they not have the rights to it? Like some kind
No,
of...
I don't know
nice
why
that
they
1,
haven't.
2, and 4 are all on the cart, but I showed her that because it's the only way to get an art book of all the Tasmanian Tiger stuff, and the at least if you get the US version, you get digital soundtracks. If you can somehow find an imported version, you get physical CDs.
Oh, wow. All right. Well, with that little ooh shiny where we wandered off topic, which was great. I think we'll
on topic. I just
we kind of on topic. Yeah, we just went back
multiple times.
Just looping back. That's great. I'm sure I'll remember later. There's more versions of Mario I've bought. Like it's just dumb how many I have. Because even Mario All-Stars, I have multiple copies of. Because you have Mario All-Stars by itself, and then there's a one that also had Super Mario World as part of it. And I think there was another set it was included in. Oh, God. All right. So let's wrap up this lovely episode of the show. You can find us online over at ZenspathCom, over on Twitter, and now on Threads. Or Zenspath Podcast over on Twitter, and just at ZenspathCom on Threads is where you can find us, talk to us there. If you're watching the video version of this and you'd like to get the audio version, go to your favorite podcast app of choice. Look for Zenspath Entertainment Network Podcast. You can find us there. Leave us a review, 5 stars or whatever they use, or whatever. Just let us know. Give us thoughts on, what you think of the show. You can find their contact information and the notes inside of that file for the MP3. If you're listening to this and you'd like to actually watch the shenanigans of what we get into, including me dancing around Pikmin toys, Chris's background falling around, and Rachel looking around her room every time something happens. she does that. You can go to youtube.com/ZenspathCom. That's where all of our episodes and other videos are. You can find inside, under that in the information, all of our contact information if you want to reach us. You can find us on our Discord over at bit.ly/ZenspathDiscord, where we're always posting and talking and laughing and doing ridiculous stuff. But as for the YouTube, leave us a comment. Answer the big question. Let us know what your answer would be for that. Share it with people. It helps us out a lot. And beyond that, this has been episode 138, and we're out. Peace. Anybody got anything funny? No.
I just want them to release Ty 3 from jail.
Freedom for Ty 3. Yeah.